Hey, so today I want to talk about something that I feel like I've definitely talked about quite a few times, but I feel like I just want to talk about it again solely because it just is one of those things. Now, I've talked about the internet a lot. I spend a lot of time on the internet, but I'm not like going I'm not like fucking website hopping left and right. One second I'm on YouTube, then I'm on Twitch, then I'm on Twitter, then I'm on Instagram, then Facebook, then MySpace, then LinkedIn, then whatever the fuck else there is. I don't know many websites. Okay, I know Google. I'm an old man, I know Google. But I don't hop around a lot. I kind of just stay on like one thing, and then every once in a while I might deviate to something else, but more than likely I stay on one thing. Mostly just watching YouTube videos. I don't watch Twitch at all. I go on Twitter every once in a while just to see if there's any like new funny shit posts, interesting art, or whatever the fuck else. Or maybe like, I don't know, maybe someone's gonna be talking about something interesting. And I did talk about how I used to use Facebook when I was younger because everyone did. I even had a MySpace when I was younger. Like when I was really young, I had a MySpace. It was awful. I did use Instagram, but I didn't care. It's basically Instagram is just like a really vain place. It's just like, yo, look at how hot I am type place. Which I mean, hey man, whatever. And I'm sure there's like good shit on Instagram, like maybe like some funny pages or some shit like that. But the same could have been easily said about like Instagram and Twitter and whatever else, because there were some funny fucking pages on Facebook. But it's mostly just old people who use Facebook now. And now that I use Twitter, I still see funny shit, and I see great art and interesting shit, and all that kind of weird ass shit. You know, I follow people who I find interesting, and that or funny or entertaining, or I like their art or whatever. You know, but I've used quite a few things, but now it's mostly just YouTube. I mostly just watch YouTube videos. Sometimes I upload my own videos, my poor pathetic phone videos. And then sometimes I go on Twitter, and I'm gonna be honest, Twitter is like a fucking mess. And I don't mean it in the way that everyone else is. Like for once I'm not talking about this isn't me talking or this specific instance is not me talking about the people of Twitter. I'm talking about Twitter as in the website because it has two things. It has a for you and your follows, right? So it has two things now. But what makes no sense is you think the for you would be things that you people you are not following, things you do not see, and things that aren't being like retweeted or any of that kind of shit. But no, my for you is filled with like people who I'm following, but when I go to my following thing, I get like maybe one or two like Twitter posts, and it's from people that I do follow, but my for you is filled with other people I follow, so I'm like I have to check between the two of them, otherwise I miss like Twitter posts. So it's like if I go to like one side, I go to the follower things, I have to go to the for you because then I realize, oh shit, there's like what, like 50 different people I follow who I have not seen their posts because Twitter is fucked. For some reason my follows are on the for you but are also on the follows, but the follows post like only like five different people while the for you posts like everyone else. So that's just like a small rant about Twitter as a whole. But this isn't me wanting to rant about, website functionality or, oh, YouTube this, YouTube that, Twitch this, Twitch that, Twitter this, Twitter that, because it's all been said and done a million times. And honestly, I'm not as interested in that, right? Because when YouTube makes some fucking wacky ass change, it's always fucking stupid. But at the end of the day, I'm not big enough. And at the same time, even if I was big enough, this wouldn't affect me because I make videos that are just shitty. I make shitty videos that are meant to just be shit. There's no real purpose to them. I'm not like putting a passion project out that gets demonetized and then, gets like taken down by like some greedy corporation. Like I'm literally making like shitty, like 10 to 30-minute long just videos where I ramble into my phone. It's not that crazy. So at the end of the day, I feel bad for the people who actually have to deal with that shit. But that shit doesn't interest me. What I want to talk about is the lack of fucking brain cells on the internet. And now I can definitely fit into this as well because I also lack brain cells and I also am on the internet. However, the things that I see on the internet genuinely make me think that I might actually be a fucking genius because some of the shit I see is some of the most brain dead bullshit I've ever seen. The internet is a place that drains your sanity, completely destroys brain cells, but at the end of the day, it's unfair to say it's the internet, right? It's unfair to say the internet does it. The internet is the problem, right? That's like the argument that people make where guns cause violence, right? It's guns. It's not the people, it's guns. But it's the people's fault. The internet is the place that it is because of the people. That is how it is. It is not the internet's fault. The internet is a landscape for people to broadcast whatever the fuck they're doing, say whatever the fuck they want, and do whatever the fuck they want. And at the end of the day, these people are free roaming in this bullshit. That's just how it is. That's the internet. But is this the internet's fault? Fuck no. It's the fault of the people. The same as how people love to constantly say Twitter is a piece of shit. Twitter sucks. Twitter this, Twitter that. But it's not Twitter's fault that the people on Twitter are fucking brain dead. It is not Twitter's fault. It's not like when the website was created, the guy who created it put like a fucking like his first Twitter post ever was like, "Hello, welcome to Twitter. If you are using this, you must be a fucking idiot. You must be like some bloodthirsty dipshit. You must be insane, right?" No, they're probably the first post on Twitter is just like, "Hello, Twitter users. It is I, John Twitter, and I am here to welcome you to Twitter." And then that was probably it. It was not made to be a cesspool of dipshits. It just became one. But that's not Twitter's fault. And I know people love to like, they don't want to call the people out. They just want to collectively say, the platform. The platform's the problem. The platform is the problem. It's Twitter's fault, right? Twitter is the reason these people exist. Twitter is the reason these people are dumb. No, these people were dumb long before Twitter. These people were dumb probably since they were born, and honestly, their parents might have even been. But at the end of the day, it's not Twitter. It is the people on Twitter. It's not Facebook. It's the people on Facebook, even though Facebook is a dying thing because Mark Zuckerberg's putting too much into the metaverse thing. Anyway, that's a relevant thing. But people on the internet are the problem, not the internet. The internet is such a cool and fascinating place. The internet is amazing. You get to do so much cool shit. If you don't know the definition of a word, you just type it into Google and it gives you the definition. Like, you can go onto a platform that lets you connect with people that you haven't seen in years. You can make new friends. There's places to date. There's places to nerd out about games and comics and TV shows. There's like, you can order food online. You can order just anything online. You can literally do so much shit. You can look at tits online. You can look at ass online. You can do so much cool shit on the internet. The internet is such a cool thing. It's so great. But it's not the internet's fault that there are fucking morons on it. The same as it's not the internet's fault that I'm on it right now. I chose to be on the internet because I like the internet. Is that the internet's fault? No, that's my interests' fault. That is my fault. I am being an idiot on the internet of my own free will, not because some guy who works for the internet, I don't know how the fuck that works. I don't know if someone works for the internet. I don't know how this shit works. I'm stupid. But it's not like John Internet knocked on my fucking door, put a gun to my head and said, "You better be on the fucking internet." No, because anyone, like, there's probably thousands, maybe even millions of people who don't even have internet or don't want internet. But most of us choose to be on the internet. You don't get forced onto the internet. You just choose to be on the internet. Because you can literally shut your fucking internet shit off at any time. Like, I can close my phone and go to bed. Like, but obviously, as soon as I wake up, I'm going to go back on the internet out of my choice. I am an idiot on the internet. But the people on the internet that I want to talk about really are more of these people who are so fucking online to the point where they are the exact people that other, like commentary people will immediately deem as Twitter as a whole or YouTube as a whole or all that kind of shit. Because it's like the joke of Minecraft YouTubers are pedos, right? People have just associated the word Minecraft YouTuber with a pedo because there have been so many, which is unfair because there are many Minecraft YouTubers who are good people. But that is what people do. They just make the joke, and that's how it is. And that's how Twitter is. They make the joke like, oh, Twitter as a whole, everyone on Twitter, every single thing about Twitter is stupid, is this, is that. But at the end of the day, Twitter is just a website. It doesn't do anything. It just websites. It does whatever. It beeps, it boops, and sometimes it crashes. But the people on Twitter are deranged, I guess is probably a nice way of putting it, if anything, because Twitter, the people on Twitter specifically, they're very clout hungry, I guess you could say, which is could also be relegated to TikTok as well. But on Twitter, everybody wants to be a somebody. Everybody wants to be a hero. They want to be something better. They want to be this. They want to be that. They want to be the hero to the insert types. They want to be the hero to the other thing. They want to this. They want to that. They want to fight. They want to bite. They want to scream. They want to claw. They want to do every little tiny little hissy fit bitch shit that they do. And that's all they do. So there's just like a giant like there and to pretend like Twitter that's all Twitter is bullshit because like I said, my Twitter is pretty fucking good. Like I follow people I want to follow. If someone just starts if I just start getting annoyed by what someone's like tweeting out, I just unfollow them. It's that simple. And you can easily block people. I don't want to block people. I don't really like the idea of blocking people, but you can if you want to. I mean, that's literally a thing. But there's this subsection or just full ass section of Twitter where there's just these people who live in their own little fucking echo chamber, their little fucking Dutch oven they created them fucking selves, and they just kind of sit in it, waft in their own fucking farts, and then they just scream. They just scream nonstop. And every once in a while they come out of their little bubble to fucking take a little jab at someone who doesn't even know they exist, nor do they care. They'll go after someone big and they'll just be like, oh, Ryan Reynolds, haha, puck. Puck. I'm gonna say poke. Poke. I meant to say poke because like poke. Oh my fucking god. I can't I can't speak at all. But they every once in a while there's those guys where they do this thing where they come out of their bubble, they poke someone, they're just like, hey, I have an opinion. I have an opinion. I have a really bad opinion. I have a bad take. I'm gonna attack you. And then once they get that person's attention, they slink into their bubble and they're just like, yes, come to me. Come into my bubble. Come into my bubble. You can't win in here. That's kind of how it is. It's like in those like it's like a fucking anime villain, right? You know the anime villain where they like create like this field of power for themselves and they're like, you can't touch me in here, and then the hero tries and then hero can't hurt them and they just slap the hero away, right? It's like one of those fucking things. That's how it is on Twitter. There is this little giant fucking dome bubble bullshit where they try to like lure people in so that they can get their fucking like pack of hyenas to just latch onto them once they walk in and be like, oh, you've entered my arena where nothing makes sense. The only person who is God here is me. And then they just bitch. They literally just bitch. Because okay, I'm gonna say a couple things. Firstly, I've already talked plenty of times about how much I hate politics. I've talked plenty of times about how much I hate the uh, anti SJW versus the SJWs, I guess. Like I hate this shit. I hate this shit, and it's very relevant on Twitter. It's just common. You'll always have that one guy who's like, "Oh my god, this movie just came out. Black lead. Oh, this is woke." And then you'll have the other side where they pander and they virtue signal and they call everyone a bigot, and you can be like, oh, well, that sounds like over dramatic, right? Like you hear that stereotype on Twitter a lot, right? The whole like because that's like a big stereotype at Twitter is the anti SJW versus the SJW thing. That's like a huge thing that you hear as a stereotype for Twitter, but it's not. It's really really relevant. It's just constant. And Like, it's just stupid because every day there's like some new Twitter user who's like, hey, let's cancel insert person because insert reason that is stupid. Like how Twitter like constantly tries to cancel PewDiePie even to this day. Like they literally just keep going at it to this day for no reason and they just will not fucking stop. But obviously that's not going to go anywhere because people with a fucking grain of sense are going to look at that and think, "Wow, you people are fucking idiots." But the internet has that problem with I hate saying this. Okay, I hate saying this, but it's cancel culture, right? I hate saying cancel culture, and the reason I do is because it is yet another word that the internet has ruined, right? The internet has ruined words like bigot and pedo and all these words. They've ruined these words by using them to everything. If you so much as say, "Damn, I like donuts," someone will call you a bigot. If you say, "Wow, my ass itches," you will get called a pedo. That is how some people on Twitter work. And it's not even like a funny like haha Twitter stereotype. No, it's genuine. And it's actually fucking annoying. But the cancel culture is overused as well. It is also overused because the people who use it are on the anti SJW side, where they see everything that comes at them as I'm being canceled. If you have a negative opinion about someone, you're being canceled. That's how they see it. And the best example was that Sneeko shit, the Sneeko Moist Critical shit, where he kept saying that he was being canceled by people. And what did the people do? They insulted him. He was saying that he was being canceled by being insulted. But that's not how shit works. If someone calls you a dumbass, then you might just be a dumbass. If someone calls you ugly, well, then you just might be ugly. If someone says that you're not funny, well, then you just might not be funny. But if someone calls you an idiot, they are not trying to ruin you. They're not trying to take your career. They're not trying to take your life. They're not trying to kill you. All they're saying is that you are an idiot. That is it. So cancel culture gets thrown around by especially by these fucking alpha males where they think that everything is a fucking cancel culture thing where everyone is trying to cancel them and some of them like to wear like a badge of honor where they say things like I'm uncancelable, people keep trying to cancel me but they can't. You know, there's those YouTubers who try to do that. And then I mean, I don't know, man. But it's like Twitter genuinely does have times where they try to cancel people unfairly. But then there's that equal side who uses the term cancel culture as a means of defending themselves from insults, which you are not immune to insults. If you are on the internet and you have any kind of presence, you are going to be insulted. You just get the fuck over it. If someone calls you an idiot, you just accept it. It's just going to happen. It's just a word on a computer screen. It's not like someone literally walked up to you and started screaming in your face. It is an anonymous person whose Twitter handle is probably something like I love big testicles 69 and he's just going to say you should die. Like who gives a shit? It's a screen. It's fucking pixels on a screen. Like it's just words. Like I get it. Like no one should be insulted, right? No one should be insulted, right? That's fucked up. But if you're gonna have any kind of presence on the internet, you're just gonna get insulted, regardless. You're gonna get told you're an idiot. You're gonna have negative opinions be thrown against you. It's just how shit is. And if you're gonna attribute that to being canceled, then that's fucking stupid. Because cancellation would be if someone was like, "I think we should deplatform him because when 5 years ago he tweeted out that he has a really long singular hair on his balls, and I think that's offensive to women because women don't have balls, so they don't know what he's talking about. So we should deplatform him." That would be cancel culture because they're trying to deplatform someone. But if someone calls you a fucking freak and you take that as cancel culture, then you're just thin skinned, and that's kind of sad. And that's coming from me, a fucking bitch boy who literally cries when he so much as accidentally bumps his hand into something lightly. But I guess it's not just this whole Twitter mob bullshit, whatever the fuck. Like, it's not only that, but like the fact that there's these people on Twitter who they can't have like a rational thought without becoming violent and hostile. Like these people who they come up with like these thoughts of like they think someone's bad. So what do? Do they just say fuck this person? Do they say I hate this person? No. Their first instinct is threats. Like literal threats of harm or literal just murder or like doing something horrible to them. Like that is pretty common on Twitter where like someone will just be like maybe not a good person or maybe they're not a bad person but like the person just decides they're a bad person, and there will always be someone who puts like that fucking shit of just like this person's a bad person therefore I hope they get hit by a car or maybe I will come to their house, you know, like they always do that. There, and it's not a lot of people, it's a very small minority on Twitter who actually have this like unhinged mentality where when they don't like someone their first instinct is to literally fucking threaten them. It's just a weird thing, you know, death threats and all that shit. That is insanely fucking it's just it's crazy. It's crazy that that even crosses people's mind. Like like there are literal like horrible human beings out there, and these people like want to send death threats to like someone like Mr. Beast or something. But actually, speaking of horrible people on the internet, I guess that's where I should move on to another side of the internet that is an active cesspit, and that is, well, I guess like YouTubers and streamers who decide to step a bit into the fucking dark side. And by step into the dark side, I mean completely go full fucking psycho and do horrible, horrible shit. From ranging from like that Twitch streamer who murdered his ex-girlfriend, or one of the many, many predators that just seem to constantly flourish on sites like especially YouTube. I haven't heard a lot about Twitch streamers being predators, which is actually kind of weird, but it's pretty common on YouTube. You know, like I've talked about these quite a bit. You know, EDP, Jinbop, Minilad, others. There's a lot. There's like a lot, and of course Minecraft, Roblox. You know, kids game YouTubers. They get the shit. There was Raid Wolf. I forgot all about Raid Wolf. Oh man, I think he's still in jail. I hope he's in fucking jail because I'm pretty sure Jinbop's out of jail, and that man should still be in fucking jail. And EDP should also be in jail, as should Minilad. But that's a side of the internet. That's another fucking side of the internet that is not the internet's fault. It's still not the internet's fault because this type of thing has existed long before the internet, when dudes used to drive up in white vans and say, "Hey, I have some candy." Like, why do you think that schools used to show PSAs about not talking to strangers and not getting into strangers' cars? It was such a common thing. But with the rise of the internet, it's even more easy now for people to just go into like a Discord call with a minor and then say some really fucked things and ask for very disgusting things. EDP is the best example because he is the most well known of them all. He is the biggest fucking creep ass fucking cupcake lover, and dude's still fucking struggling, and honestly, I don't feel the slightest bit bad at all. Like, if he was smart, he would just turn himself in. Because, you know, he'd probably be living better in jail than he would right now, you know, unless his cellmates find out what he's done, in which case, I heard prison is not very kind to people who do that kind of shit. But, you know, like I said, there was ones like Jinbop and Raid Wolf. Raid Wolf and Jinbop got arrested. Minilad somehow skated away despite being a literal fucking creep. He somehow just walked away, made a video where he half-assed an apology, and then just was like, "Hey, I'm perfectly fine." And I'm pretty sure he's still uploading, I think. I'm not sure about that. But that's another side of the internet, the criminal side, which is not surprising because it's just it's everything. It's everything. Like everything's gonna have a criminal side, no matter what. Like I'm sure you can find a fucking like a psycho murderer working in an office, or a fucking McDonald's employee could have just beaten his wife. Like, you don't know. Like, that shit exists outside of the internet, too. It's not just an internet thing. But that is another side of the internet, and that is the criminal side. Not to mention the whole, you know, dark web, deep web shit, which many YouTubers have already proven that the dark web is not as, like, horrible as people think it is. Like, I know, like, some ordinary gamer, like, he used to do, like, deep web stuff. Like he would look at it and it was never really like illegally like horrible. It was always just like, oh, creepy thing, or buy a gun or buy some weed, right? So it's not actually as like a monstrous of a horror story as people make it out to be. But the what's funny is the true criminality on the internet is in broad daylight on a happy little fucking website where people upload videos of them playing games, reacting to shit, and vlogging. And that is where you find the actual criminals. Not where you'd expect. You just find them sitting there making a video where they're just like, hey guys, welcome to episode 72 of Roblox horror maps, or something like that. You know what I mean? But it's crazy. The internet, for as long as I've been on the internet, I've seen so many fucking people. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. Before I go on with this, another YouTuber I forgot about was Cryotic. A guy who used to be really close with PewDiePie. He was a complete fucking creep. He was a creep as well. And I think recently there was a commentary YouTuber who was like one of the first ones, named like Cyrus, who did something. I actually forgot about those were like two that I actually completely forgot about. Anyway, I've been on the internet for a long time. I've said that many times. I've watched so many YouTubers. I've seen so many YouTubers and streamers and all sorts of people come, go, vanish in the blink of an eye. I've seen them stay and rock shit, doing big shit. I've seen some of them stagnate only to have a channel that just continues to never grow or fall. I've seen some horrible downfalls. I've seen some huge rises. I've seen channels that have like literally been made and then have done nothing. I've seen channels be made and do something. I've seen channels just come out of fucking nowhere and just become big things. I've watched YouTube for so long. I've seen so many goddamn channels. And I've seen so many fucking criminals on it as well. And for all my time on the internet, nothing changes ever. It's just you go on like some social media platform and it's a fight about politics. It's a fight about SJW stuff. It's a fight about anti-SJW stuff. It's a fight about art. It's a fight about drama. It's a fight about everything. But then you go to YouTube, you watch some funny videos, but then someone gets in trouble because they said a funny joke, except someone didn't find it funny, so they complained to their 3 followers on Twitter, and then those 3 followers threw a hissy fit so loud that it made other people mad. And then there's also those people who commit crimes, and then yada and yada yada yada, and it doesn't end. But that's the cycle of the internet. But it's not the internet, it's the citizens of the internet, because Jesus fucking Christ. It's just the citizens of the internet, or whatever. What the fuck did Christian say? Was it citizens of YouTube? Hello, citizens of YouTube. Okay, I can't get the voice right. I definitely could not do the Christian voice to like ad lib sentences. I could only do like mimic things that Christian has said, because if I tried to like ad lib Christian lines, I wouldn't be able to do it. Unlike the Hank Hill one, I even was kind of like struggling with. I'm not very good at ad libbing things because it feels like I have to like kind of like parrot them a bit. Anyway, point being, Christian's another good example of what happens when you get too big on the internet sometimes. You know, also just a side note about this internet thing, the whole Christian thing. Christian's story, after seeing so much of it, it's almost like a story that I wish had a better ending. You know what I mean? Like, I even kind of wish that when the whole EDP thing happened, right? Like, I feel like I've seen so many things on the internet that I've just kind of wished not only didn't happen, but just had a better ending, right? Like, I kind of wish the Christian stuff was just that, you know, Christian straightened out, things got better, and she fixed her life and never did any of that stuff. And then maybe she, maybe continued to be, actually liked by the internet. And the same could be said for EDP, where I kind of wish the story was different, where he was just a fucking over the top, funny, vulgar dude who just told shit as he felt he needed to, and there was nothing shady, right? And I could honestly say that's how I kind of feel about any of these stories I hear on the internet, where I kind of just wish it had a happier ending, and it just didn't become that. You just kind of wish that they never were like that and that there was just something better and funnier and entertaining and happy and lighthearted. But yeah, it just doesn't work like that. Shit happens. People are bad. No matter how good you think they are, someone could be bad on the just tip of the scales, man. It doesn't matter. Anyone can be bad. Like people like on Twitter like to shit on Mr. Beast for some fucking reason. But the reality is Mr. Beast is such a cool guy. Like he's such a nice guy, but he's an example of someone who if he wanted to, on the flip of a dime, he could literally be evil. He could just kill someone. He could just do something horrible. You never know. But it's unfair to like treat him like he cuz he could means he would. But I'm just saying, anyone can do anything. And especially on the internet, it feels like you just never know what's coming next. Like, you never know what's going to happen. So I guess the only thing you can do is sit back, watch as people angrily exchange messages about a new movie or bitch about some fucking cancellation bullshit or some new internet personality is outed for being bad. So this was a long video. I just wanted to talk about the insanity of the internet of sorts. So yeah, so it's a weird thing. But again, it's not the internet's fault. It's the people. No different than anything else. You can't blame a location for being the fault of the people. Like, I know like a place like what, like Chicago or something is like considered like crime ridden, but that's not inherent. Well, I mean, okay, maybe it's not good to like compare like a town or even a state as much as it is to compare a fucking a virtual place in our phones and computers where people choose to be on it and they don't have to. So, whatever. I don't know. Internet insanity bullshit. So, yeah,